Hello everyone, my name is Javier Medina, member of the UDS technical team, and in this video we're going to see how to configure Windows machines that will serve as templates for our VDI desktops. In this case, I have a Windows 11 machine, but if you want to configure any other Windows machine, you will need to follow the exact same steps. So now that we are inside the machine, let's start configuring. First of all, we will access the settings. We go to settings, and we are going to check, for example, the updates. Once here, we will verify that the latest updates are installed. Alternatively, if we don't want our users to have to update their machines, we can update it completely and then tell it to pause, cancel, or block updates until we decide. Next, we will access the system settings. We will scroll all the way down to remote desktop. And if you want to connect via RDP, you must have remote desktop enabled. In my case, I'm going to enable it, and a prompt will appear asking if I want to enable remote desktop, so I will click yes. Perfect. Once enabled, you need to be careful if NLA, the network level authentication, is enabled when connecting via HTML5, as you must ensure that you are sending valid credentials. In my case, I'm going to leave the NLA section disabled so that it accepts RTP connections without prior authentication. Perfect. Once disabled, we will open our browser to download the UDS Actor. So we will open our preferred browser and we will access our UDS server using either its IP address or its DNS name. In my case, I will access via the IP, which is the following. We will click on Advanced and then Continue. And once here, we will log in with an administrator user or the super user. In my case, I'm going to use the super user. Perfect. Now, in the download tab, we are going to choose the UDS Actor that we will use to deploy the virtual desktops. Obviously, I will choose the Windows one, which is right here, but if you have a different operating system, you should choose the correct one for your OS. So let's download it, and once downloaded, we will run it, and we click on yes, and now we will have to choose the language, in this case English for example. We click on next, I'll accept, and we will choose where we want it to be installed. We will leave it as default and click on install. We will click on next, and once it's completed, it will launch automatically. Once inside the actor, we will specify the parameters such as SSL validation, which is basically the type of security applied to the connection with the UDS server, and essentially if you have a valid certificate on your UDS server, it is recommended to keep the verify certificate option enabled to achieve the highest possible security. In my case, I don't have any certificate and I'm using the self-signed certificate, so I will leave it on ignore certificate. Afterward, we will enter either our server IP address or our server DNS name. In my case, I'm going to use the IP. We will choose the authenticator we want. In my case, I'm going to use the administration one since I will be using the super user, but you can also use a different authenticator that has an administrator user. So we will enter our super user credentials. And as for the advanced section, we can leave it as default, but just to briefly explain the fields, in the pre-connect field, you can enter a script that will execute just before allowing the users to connect to the virtual site. Then in the run once field, you can enter a script that runs only once and before the UDS Actor applies its configuration. And in the post-config field, you can enter a script that executes when the UDS Actor has finished its configuration. Below that, as for the log level, it is the type of login that will be shown in the UDS Actor log files. It can be set to debug, info, error, or fatal mode. The one that provides the most detailed information is debug. Perfect. Now that all of this has been explained, we will click on register with UDS, everything is completed, and we will verify it with test configuration, and everything is perfect. So we will click on OK, and in this way we have configured the UDS Actor. We can now click on close, we will close everything. Finally, we just need to modify the power management options, so let's head over there, we will type power plan, edit power plan, and here under turn off the display we will change it to never. This will ensure that the screen doesn't turn off or the machine doesn't go into sleep mode, preventing any connection issues. Now we will click on save changes, and that's it. This way we have a machine fully configured to serve as a template for deploying VDI desktops. Now we will simply close everything, and it is very important to shut down the machine, as you should always perform the machine deployment with the template machine turned off. So we will select the Windows button and click shutdown. And that's all. We hope you liked the video, that it was very helpful for you, and thank you very much for watching. Best regards.